Hi, my name is Tammy Hotchkiss. I'm a student at Liberty University in Education Department. Why has there been so much controversy over saying the pledge in our schools today, in our public schools? First of all, it was written in 1892 by a man named Francis Bellamy, who was a Baptist minister, Christian socialist, who worked for a little magazine that we call today the Reader's Digest. He wrote this for the quadcentennial celebration of Columbus Day for the public schools of the Rising of the Flag. So, in retrospect, it's just a poem. What do the words of the Pledge of Allegiance actually mean? A pledge is to promise someone. Like, I pledge my love to my husband. I pledge my love to my God. I pledge my love to my country. Every day. Not a big deal. But is it necessary that there has to be schools being sued for saying the Pledge of Allegiance? In the year 2000, a father sued his school because he was an atheist and he didn't want his daughter to just recite the pledge. Republic. That means our country, where we are at that time. As Christians, should we recite the Pledge of Allegiance? It's a quandary. Where did we end up having to fight for our freedom of speech? When it's the First Amendment. If you want to say the Pledge of Allegiance, you're all welcome to. If you don't, you don't have to. There shouldn't be any suing of school districts. In 1954, President Eisenhower signed a bill saying to add under God. Because he wanted our school children to stand up every day and be patriotic and pledge their alliance with the United States, and also to know that it was all under our Creator. In Scripture, it clearly states we should only have alliance with God. Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will stand by and be devoted to one and despise and be against the other. You cannot serve God and man and all his riches. Secondly, Jesus directly states and condemns an oath to anyone or anything for any reason. Scripture states in Matthew chapter 5, verse 34, but I tell you, do you bind yourselves by an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is the throne of God? Finally, we need to be aware of what we say and how we say it. What we teach and how we teach it, and the tone of our voice and the words that we choose. Colossians chapter 4, verse 6 states, let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Romans 12:2 states, do not be conformed in this world, it's external, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, so that you may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God, even the thing which is good and acceptable and perfect. So as teachers, we need to remember that we're in a diverse cultural explosion, that there's Indians, Asians, Native Americans, Islamics, Hinduism, Buddhism in our schools. We have to be mindful of who's in our class, where they come from, and what their culture is, and what their religion is, before we start reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. So take away from this that we can say it, or we can choose not to. No, there is no law that says that we have to, and there's no law that says we don't have to. But as Christians, we should only have one alliance, and that is with God. Thank you, and God bless.